Josephine Ngong-Tawe. I am an optometrist and a mother of 3. I am also the owner of Family Eyecare in Somerset, New Jersey. I want to take this occasion to thank Dr. Lorraine Neba for inviting me to share my story with you all on the Kuwa platform. I am honored. My typical week, Monday through Sunday. On Mondays, I have a long work day, and that is repeated on Tuesday. I would leave the house about 8 o'clock, 8:30, and I get to the office. What I do first is reacquaint myself with my schedule to see how my day would look like, assess the patients that I'm going to see for that day, and make sure that I'm up to date with their needs and what they're coming in for. That pattern is repeated on Tuesday. I start seeing patients around 9 o'clock, and we typically don't stop till about 7 p.m. in the evening. On shorter days, I see patients from 9 o'clock till about 3 p.m. And after 3 p.m. I just finish up with paperwork and correspondence and any patient related needs that I need to attend to, and of course the back office work also. Weekends I allocate and devote to family care and welfare, as well as self-care. My educational background: after receiving the required O-levels and A-levels in Cameroon from the Lycée Moliko in Buea and CAS Bambili in Bambili, I was blessed to obtain a scholarship to study in the UK. I attended the University of Leeds and obtained an undergraduate degree in pharmacology. I then moved to the University of Birmingham and obtained a master's degree in toxicology. I stayed at that same institution and obtained a PhD in biochemistry. From there, I relocated to the United States and did postdoctoral work at Florida A&M University. After 3 years of postdoctoral work, I pivoted and changed career, went back to school to study optometry, and came out of the New England College of Optometry with a degree, or a doctor in optometry degree. I was doing postdoctoral work in Florida A&M University, and ideally when I was doing that, I had hoped and kind of planned my life that after postdoc I'll be applying for a position, get a position, and move into the pharmaceutical industry. However, that did not pan out as planned, so I had to start looking for plan B and other options. I did apply for academia positions and got a position as a professor, associate professor at the University of Ohio in Athens. However, at the same time, not wanting to put all my eggs in one basket, I applied for to go back to school. And this came to me by accident, because while trying to look for position in the pharmaceutical industry, I was going through science magazines, and I came across a small ad that was soliciting applications from PhD holders and foreign MDs who could not get a foothold in the medical field in the United States. So I applied for that program while applying for a position in academia. So when it came down to the line and it was a toss-up between becoming a professor or going back to school, I decided to choose optometry. But I didn't choose it without doing my due diligence. I spoke to my optometrist at that time, and I also checked the Department of Labor and Statistics to find out what a career in optometry would be like. And I would say, I'm pleased to say that I liked or I loved what I heard at that time, and I decided to take the plunge. So I took a loan and went back to school. The advantage I had being a higher degree holder was that the New England College of Optometry at the time was offering a program for 2 years to gain a Doctor of Optometry degree instead of the regular 4 years to these higher degree holders. So 2.5 years, or 2 years later, we'd done the coursework, did all the boards, and I started practicing optometry. My practice opening, I worked in corporate optometry when I started out, and that was the only thing I could find at that time. And carrying a college loan, you want to try and pay it out as paid off as soon as possible. And I started working corporate optometry. Then I had 3 kids as well. So while my kids were young, that was the best setting for me to work, because I could work part-time. I did in the earlier years of my kids' life, I did part-time work so I could spend as much time as I needed to with them. So when they were getting to school age, or my first 2 were in school, and my youngest one was getting to school age, I was also getting bored with just the routine patient care every day, and I wanted something more challenging. That gave me only 2 options. I could either return to part-time practice and part-time teaching, or plunge into or take a dive and open a practice. So at this point, I spoke to my husband. We came to the realization that we could also open our own business and grow that and make it a family business. So we did all the research that was needed, applied for a loan, got a lease holding. Luckily, we were able to get a location that was quite close to the house. And 2 years down the line, we got the lease, we bought the equipment, and we set up shop as a practice, and we're still in that same location 10 years later. Practice owner, African woman. On a day-to-day basis, when I'm in the office, I really don't think about that, because my main focus is just attending to my patients and making sure that they leave the office happy and they can see well. However, on further reflection, I have to say that I go between being humbled by the experience and also being proud of what I've been able to achieve. But before saying that, I would like to say that I stand on the shoulders of many other women. I stand on the shoulders of my mother, who cannot read or write, but saw it fit to create this foundation, send me to school, and make it possible for me to be here today. I also stand on the shoulders of other female optometrists who were able to hold my hand when I was about to open the practice. I spoke to them, visited their practices, and they were able to guide me along and help me in the whole process. And I am also surrounded by sister friends. They are my cheerleaders. They keep me going every day, and they support me, and they make it easier for me to navigate this space. But as an African woman, it is and a business owner, it's humbling every day when I come here. I also stand as a model for other people to see that this is something that they can achieve. But overall, it's a humbling experience. My biggest challenge is balancing family, work-life balance, family life and work, and the challenges of running a business and managing the staff. On the one hand, I want to be there for my family, I want to be there for my children all the time, but on the other hand, I also have to make sure that the business is running effectively, and that for me is the biggest challenge. But at the end of the day, I want to be in the office. I want to be a role model for my girls, and I want to make sure that I'm doing the best I can as a mother for them as well. So when all is said and done, you want to go home. I want to go home at the end of the day knowing that I've done the best I can, both for them and for the business. My second challenge is the fear of failure. Just being afraid that someday I could get up and this business is all gone poof. It's that fear and that imposter syndrome that maybe sometimes I don't feel like I'm good enough for what for this position is also one of my biggest challenges. So that imposter syndrome is always there, hanging or lurking around. However, I keep reminding myself that I've worked hard for whatever I have, and nothing that I'm doing or nothing that I have was given to me on a silver platter. Being a medical professional, I think my biggest highlight is the ability to interact with my patients every day, the ability to sit down and talk with people of all races, all ages every day, and the community at large. It's really exciting to be able to hear about people's fears, people's views or viewpoint, and sometimes being able to just help someone navigate their problems, if I may say so. That is one of my biggest highlights. I think secondly, using my exam chair as a platform to be able to advise young people that I see each day, hear their aspirations, hear their what they want to do in life, and giving my input or advising them on how to navigate and move to the next place. A few days ago, I had a young lady who is a freshman at our local university, and she's sitting in the chair. I think it took her a while to come up with the question, but before she left, she just blurted out and wanting to know whether it was hard being a doctor. It was difficult getting to where I am. I was able to quell her anxiety and just tell her that if you take it one day at a time, one step at a time, you make sure that you don't procrastinate when you're doing your schoolwork. You make sure your GPA is up to par. You will be able to make it. And if you get in the right GPA, no professional school will be able to turn you down. So it is hard. It's a lot of work, but it's not something that you need to do all at once. You have to go through it bit by bit. And my last highlight is just being an eye care provider, being able to help people see a little better every day and help them have their ocular needs met is, of course, priceless. My number one advice for African girls in the diaspora is never stop learning. Never be done with learning. Be a lifelong learner. Have a growth mindset. Wherever you are, you can still blossom. You can still move on. You can still find something new to do, to learn, and to make your life better. Number 2, surround yourself with people who lift you up every day. Spend your time with people who raise you up, not people who bring you down. These are your cheerleaders for life. Finally, find a mentor. Don't be afraid to speak up and ask questions, because you never know who is going to help you. And when you find someone who can raise you, help you, lift you up, cling on to them, because they might be able to take you places. So just let your voice be heard. Always remember, it's your road and yours alone. Others may walk with you, but no one can walk it for you. That is a Rumi quote. And always remember, your journey is your journey. It's not your friend's journey. And you have to make it your own. You have to do what it takes to get you from point A to point B. There are going to be challenges along the way, but those challenges are what make you who you are. And I would like to end with a quote from Mary Oliver, which reads, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? You have only this one life to live. Make the best of it. Thank you.